Hello again. Well, back to the Movie Buff Reactions channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to the latest video put out by The Unusual Suspect and another one of his latest attempts to kind of retool his format. Today's video is not really a review, it's a list video of sorts called Every Actor in Star Wars Episode 1 and Where You Know Them From. And he said it's on Twitter and Patreon, I think. He said it's a video where he goes through each actor in the Phantom Menace, because he really loves going back to that fucking movie. And he's gonna talk about where they are known from, like what are movies they might be known from. I don't know if he's gonna do every single individual actor, but maybe the lesser knowns and where else they're known from. And I'm interested, as always, and curious how this goes, because I'm a little nervous that it might just be a list video, but Ross John Fernley, he has always made some pretty interesting vids, so let's see how he does, and if this new little experiment of his to get the YouTube algorithm moving works out. Without further ado, let's watch.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So, have you ever watched a movie, seen a familiar actor in it, and been all like, oh man, I know that face. Where do
Every
I know
now and
that
then.
person from? Duh! Well, this new series I'm piloting will aim to answer that question. My plan is to go through some very well-known films you likely have seen a million times, and show you who every actor in the movie is, who they are and what they're known for. Because you might be surprised just how lush the careers are of actors with even the smallest of parts. And
Yeah.
Star Wars, I think, is a good place to start. For these
Isn't it
films
always?
are packed with famous names and cameos. And I am convinced that I am going to blow your mind here. Because there's some very famous people in these films that you have seen many times and you likely have never recognized them. Or there might be some lesser known actors you'll see in this video, and you'll be like, wait, that person was also in this thing? Huh. So best I show rather than tell, so let's begin with Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
With all due respect, the ambassadors for the Supreme Chancellor wish to board immediately.
Supplying these Republican cruise pilots is Silas Carson on the left and Brona Gallagher on the right. Gallagher is a prolific Irish singer/actress. She's been in a ton of stuff like Pulp Fiction, and here she is with Sherlock Holmes.
Whoa.
Oh, I see two men. Brothers. Not in blood, but in bond.
Now, if you're a Star Wars nerd and you don't know who Carson is, this will interest you. Carson is the man behind Jedi Ki-Adi-Mundi and Newt Gunray. Yeah, this is what he looks like without all the prosthetics. Also, kind of bizarre he's in two places at once here, huh?
Pretty cool.
This might qualify as suicide.
Make yourselves comfortable. My master will be with you shortly.
Now, TC-14 is voiced by Scottish film and stage actress Lindsay Duncan. She's been in a ton of films and shows like the Oscar-winning Birdman.
I'm going to close your play. Would you like to know why? Because I hate you.
Also, remember that green leader pilot from Return of the Jedi? 3 of them coming in, 20 degrees. Well, that's actor Hilton McRae, who is Lindsay Duncan's husband. Such a cute...
All connected.
Master Yoda said I should be mindful of the future.
But not at the expense of the moment.
Of course, we have our leads, Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson.
Qui-Gon.
Both extremely well-known actors today, but it might interest you to know how they got their start. Neeson's first acting role was that of Jesus Christ in the 1978 movie Pilgrim's Progress.
Well, who hasn't taken a crack at playing Jesus? Even Christian Bale did it.
It's funny because it's Obi-Wan that gets all the memes about looking like Jesus. You sure you don't want to change your Messiah there, Internet? And McGregor, who, fun fact, is the nephew of Dennis Lawson,
I knew that.
played Wedge Antilles in the original trilogy, got his acting debut on the small screen. One of his very first roles was in the 1993 four-part television series Scarlet and Black, acting alongside Rachel Weisz.
Mamselle, I pledge to you eternal secrecy. All that has transpired will be consigned forthwith to the Sea of Forgetfulness.
The Chancellor
Very
should
British.
never have brought them into this. Kill them immediately.
Playing Palpatine is Scottish actor Ian McDiarmid, a prolific theatre actor, joining the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1974 and acting alongside several legendary names like Ian McKellen and Judi Dench.
Here's a farmer. That
He was also the butler in Dirty Raw and Scoundrels.
On expectation of plenty.
Oh. His movie exploits aren't too notable outside of Star Wars, but here he is in Sleepy Hollow.
You
Ah.
moved the body?
I did.
You must never move the body.
Why not?
Because.
What is going on down there?
We lost the transmission, sir.
So this is crazy. The voice of this Neimoidian here is provided by Amanda Lucas, one of George Lucas's daughters, who has a live action
Gotta give the kids a
cameo
role.
later on during the pod race scene. Also worth noting that Amanda had a brief stint as an MMA fighter.
We could just keep doing
Oh
it.
yeah, I remember that.
You know, keep winning fights and keep winning them decisively and showing that I'm, the real deal and that I'm here to stay.
I would pay big money to see her kick the shit out of some toxic Star Wars fans.
The Senate
It's
will
too late
never
now.
Do you think she suspects an attack?
So this Neimoidian, canonically known as Rune Harko, is voiced by James Taylor, who's done minor work on various television series over the years. Here he is in the very early days of the Australian soap Neighbours.
Lorraine isn't going to marry you. I can't say I'm sorry. In fact, I'm delighted. For all her sakes.
Check the transmission generator.
So here we have a cameo. This guard is played by Roman Coppola.
Oh!
Yeah, Coppola. He's the son of Francis Ford Coppola. And he's had a hell of a career himself as a screenwriter for films like Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah, he's Wes
and
Anderson's
Isle of
buddy.
Dogs, and for directing the award-winning Mozart in the Jungle. And you might be wondering, Sofia Coppola is his sister, right? And you are correct. And she makes a cameo in The Phantom Menace too.
Oh,
as
yeah,
one of
I remember
Amidala's
that.
handmaidens. Sophia is of course known for her directorial endeavours in films like Marie Antoinette and Lost in Translation.
A communications disruption can mean only one thing. Invasion.
So this gentleman is film and stage actor Oliver Ford Davies. Like McDiarmid, he's also a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company. He's also been in a ton of films and shows. Here he is in Game of Thrones. Like many, he has a brief stint in that show. And he also had the honour of playing the Archbishop of Canterbury in Johnny English.
Oh.
Do you, or do you not?
Oh. Oh man. This is hilarious.
Jesus is coming. Look busy. Are you insane?
The Senate would revoke their
Didn't
trade
show the butt
franchise
shot.
when we finished.
So quick question. Do you know what Captain Panaka's first name is? It's Quash. Seriously, that's his name. Quash. Now, if you're wondering, that name derives from the name of Panaka's actor, Q Quashie, another Royal Shakespeare Company member. For British audiences, will know him best for his role on the medical drama series Holby City. Oh, and you might also know him as the immortal sword fighter Sunder from Highlander.
The gathering is here.
Whoa.
Time's almost caught us, my friend.
Good small character.
Learn a course of action that will lead us to war.
So Natalie Portman, of course, plays Queen Amidala, later became a very famous actress, but Phantom Menace was far from her first role. You might be familiar with the film
Leon.
in Leon the Professional, but did you also know that before becoming an actress, Portman was part of a kids' pop group? But not just any pop group, an environmental pop group.
Ugh. Must have been right after Fern Gully.
Now you're grown up. They grow up so fast.
Either choice presents great danger to us all.
And many of you will know that Keira Knightley plays Amidala's bodyguard double. Also became very well known, though like Portman, this wasn't her first acting gig either. Here she is at about age 9 in an episode of the police procedural series, The Bill.
He set
Never heard of
traps
it.
for us. My mates were chicken. They didn't want to go in.
Well, you did.
I had to.
Lisa Conchata, thanks.
Listen, your humble servant.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, but it is.
Ahmed Best, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Jar Jar, voiced and motion captured by
Yep.
Ahmed Best. Recently, Best hosted a Star Wars themed game show for kids called Jedi Temple Challenge. And believe it or not, despite the backlash he received, he went on to voice Jar Jar in future Star Wars projects and even voiced him in Robot Chicken.
Annie for Benny, what happened to you?
Oh, Game Jar Jar. You are going to the bosses. You are a big doo-doo this time.
So Captain Tarpals here is voiced by Welsh actor Steve Spears. He's appeared in films like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and Aragon.
The King Strip. Best
Huh.
cut.
A lot bigger than his Gungan counterpart.
Be gone with him.
So Boss Nass is voiced by the one and only Brian Blessed, who's a very well-known television presenter and
What?
actor.
That's a good name.
You might know him from Black Adder or Flash Gordon, but
Oh.
American audiences might recognize him better as the voice of Clayton in Disney's
Whoa.
Tarzan.
Professor, you are here to find gorillas.
Good villain
So
voice.
girlish fantasy.
So, I'm unable to pinpoint where he is in this scene, but amongst all the extras here, Nathan Hamill is amongst them, the son of Mark Hamill. Apparently he plays some
Again,
kind of
gotta give a
long
role to the kids.
Being marched off by battle droids. There's one long shot they take from the stairs where they have the celebration at the end.
That doesn't compute. You're under arrest.
So this droid is voiced by Peter Serafinovich, who also voices this Gungan.
There's a comment.
But he also has a more notable role in this movie.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we
Oh.
will have revenge and achieve.
Yeah, he dubs over Ray Park as the voice of Darth Maul. And apparently he was going to return as Maul in Solo, though Disney decided to give all future Maul roles to Sam Witwer, who voices him in all the animated shows. Anyway, Serafinovich might look familiar to you. Here he is in Shaun of the Dead.
It's fucking Sunday, and I've got to go to fucking work in 4 fucking hours because every other fucker in my fucking department is fucking ill. And can you see why I'm so fucking angry?
Fuck
He
yeah!
is in Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
As for Ray Park himself, you might know him as Toad from X-Men, Snake Eyes from the G.I. Joe movies, and he also had the dubious honor to star in Ballistic X vs. Sever.
And the security guard in
Worst
Fanboys.
movie of all time on Rotten Tomatoes.
Lost contact with their tactical unit.
That huge man in the assault vehicle.
Shit!
Park also cameos elsewhere in the movie as this Naboo soldier.
Shield generator's been hit.
So playing the pilot here is actor Ralph Brown, who's had roles in films like With Neo and I, Alien 3, and Wayne's World 2.
That was quite a show, man.
You were at Woodstock?
Excellent. What was it like? Well, it rained all morning and then...
This was an awesome character in Wayne's World 2.
And that's it. I almost remembered something else then, but it's gone.
Thank you, R2-D2.
So the man inside R2-D2 is the late Kenny Baker. He's appeared in many films like The Elephant Man and Time Bandits.
That was no man. That was a supreme being.
You mean God?
Well, we don't know that well. We only worked for him.
He also played the Ewok Paplu in Return of the Jedi. That was the one who stole the speeder bike.
Got a
He
midget,
also was
use him
originally
well.
going to play Wicket as well, but he felt ill, and so the 11-year-old Warwick Davis got the role.
Ah, yes! Nubian! We have lots of that.
So one Andy Seacombe voices Watto.
No money, no parts, no...
He's penned his own fantasy novels and does occasional acting work in video games and television. For example, here he is in Killing Eve.
Hello, Constantine.
Do come through.
I'm a pilot, you know, and someday I'm gonna fly away from
Not much credits for Jake Lloyd, other than...
Jake Lloyd, definitely best known for this role, though he also played Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Yep, Jingle All the
son in
Way.
the Christmas movie Jingle All the Way. He also had a bit role in an episode of ER.
How you doing there, fella?
boys in the waiting room.
He's kind of embarrassed.
There's 6 other men in line for the bathroom.
Nowadays, though, his life is nothing short of tragic. He was arrested for reckless driving. He allegedly assaulted his own mother. His sister Madison, who cameos during the parade scene at the end of the movie, tragically lost her life at age 26, and now Lloyd has been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. So this is a good one. So Bulba is voiced by Scottish voice actor Lewis MacLeod.
It's always fun to see the voice recordings.
He has done a ton of voice roles. He's the current voice of Postman Pat. If you happen to play Theme Park World, he voices the advisor in that game.
One of your rides is about to break down. Take cover!
And here's an odd one. For several Star Wars games, he had the honor to play the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, so Bulba has provided the voice for Obi-Wan. What?
It's not about the mission master.
As Ewan McGregor had better shit to do.
Elsewhere. Elusive.
Oh, my bones are aching. Storm's coming up, Annie. You better get home quick.
So this lady is the late Margaret Towner, playing the market vendor, Jira. Towner did a bunch of television roles, notably appearing in the Ricky Gervais comedy drama, Derek, still acting well into her 90s like a boss.
Where do you get your nails done?
She should hang out with Clint Eastwood
Really?
when the pandemic's over.
Can't be very clever then, 'cause I'm thick.
And if they're still alive at the time.
You aren't.
I don't want you to raise. It's awful. I die every time water makes you do it.
So Anakin's mother, Shmi, is played by Swedish
Shmi.
actress Pernilla August. August has had a prolific career in many films in Sweden, collaborating many times with director Ingmar Bergman. But one especially interesting role of note from August is from the made-for-TV movie Mary, Mother of Jesus.
It all comes back to Jesus.
Christian Bale as JC.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, yeah.
Of Nazareth.
Gave him to me to bring into this world. I tried to keep him safe.
And here's the weird thing. Not only does August play yet another role as a mother who gives birth with no father, but this made-for-TV movie came out in 1999, the exact same year Phantom Menace came out. Talk about incredibly specific typecasting.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations. How might I serve you?
So many of you will know that 3PO is played by Anthony Daniels. But did you also know that Anthony Daniels once played Legolas? Yeah, that's Legolas. Daniels voiced him in the 1978 Ralph Bakshi version of Lord of the Rings.
That's where my brain went immediately.
Mr. Frodo now. Only the hands of Elrond in Rivendell can do that.
Wow, a real astro droid. How do you get so lucky?
So Anakin's friend Kidster is played by Dhruv Chanchani, who now works at a web design company. He still does interviews from time to time about his time on set, including this one where they were kind enough to make him a custom Funko Pop for his character.
This is amazing. Things I never thought I would see in my life.
More hair.
Oh, no, you're okay, Annie.
Did you know that's Warwick Davis playing that alien?
He plays a lot of characters in Phantom Menace.
Here he is during the pod race scene. It might also interest non-UK viewers that Davis has had game show hosting duties on British television, most recently hosting Tenable on ITV.
Hello and welcome to Tenable, the show where naming
He's got good charisma, good host charisma.
You've been working on that thing for years.
That there is George Lucas's other daughter, Katie Lucas.
Yeah, I figure there's a little similarity to the other woman.
Have a lot to thank her for, as she went on to help write several episodes for it.
The best thing about Lucasfilm is that we really are a family, and I'm not just saying that because I am family with George. It's fun to be in a room with a bunch of people that you don't know, and by the end you guys
George.
are best friends.
The words of an adopted kid.
This girl's name is Megan Udall. Information on her is scarce, but she apparently grew up to work as an accountant, working as a payroll accountant on Rise of Skywalker.
Come on, let's go and play ball
Peter Walpole, the film's production designer. Turns out Oliver followed his father's footsteps. For example, he worked as an assistant set decorator on the Witcher TV series.
That's absolutely right. And a big turnout here from all corners of the Outer Rim territories.
Bode and Bede here are voiced by Greg Proops and Scott Capurro, who originally weren't joined together. Yeah, the two were planned to be fully practical aliens made up with makeup, but then in post they decided to go the fully CG route. Anyway, Capurro is an American comedian with some film roles like here in Mrs. Doubtfire.
The man has 5 o'clock shadow at 8:30 a.m. and you're worried about strings.
Which you might know from his appearances on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh, that guy.
In the Wii game Mad World.
Greetings, Score Sport fans. It's a beautiful evening on Jefferson Island. Just perfect weather for our unwilling contestants to compete in the Berrigan City Death Watch.
And is one of the voices of Bob the Builder.
Today's the day we're gonna build you
Well, that's
a
random.
shelter to sleep under too.
So Bib Fortuna here is played by a different person from Return of the Jedi. This is Matthew Wood, who works as a sound editor for many Star Wars projects. He also portrayed Fortuna in The Mandalorian, and also is a talented voice actor, providing the vocals for Odie Mangerel, the battle droids in the Clone Wars.
Take this upstairs, and be sure not to drop it. Whoa!
Kylo Ren in Star Wars Resistance, and for the one and only General Grievous. Needless to say, the dude is a legend. So Star Wars nerds will recognize bounty hunter Aura Singh here, who apparently was going to play a role in episode 2, but got switched with Zam Wesell for some reason. Though she does get her time to shine in the Clone Wars TV show, and eventually gets offed by Beckett, apparently.
You killed Aura Singh. Pushed her. Pretty sure the fall killed her.
Anyway, she's played for all but 2 seconds here by model Michonne Boryeg, who apparently is good friends with Amy Allen and Shannon McRandall. Allen, who later plays Jedi Ayla Secura, and McRandall, who portrays fan favourite Mara Jade in photos taken for Star Wars cards games. Look, here she is with
The
Mark
bit players gotta stick together.
Into an alternate universe.
Welcome, Your Highness.
General Zod.
Valorum, of course, is played by Terence Stamp. Very famous actor. My audience probably will know him best as General Zod in Superman 2.
And the butler, Ramses in the Haunted Mansion.
I do not believe the Sith could have returned without us knowing.
Yep, Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu needs a no introduction.
What else has he done? Pick a number.
Jackson is a huge Star Wars fan and was ecstatic to get the role. And they were very accommodating for him. The prop department were kind enough to engrave BMF on his lightsaber hilt.
Which one is it? It's the one that said bad motherfucker.
Now I was
Damn
going to
right.
show you all what Jackson's very first film role was, but here's the thing. I literally can't. The film is called Together for Days, also known as Black Creek. It came out in 1972 and starred Clifton Davis and Lois Chiles. Chiles being the Bond girl from Moonraker. But the thing about this movie is that it's lost. There's no known copies of it anywhere. Apparently, somebody bought a film print of it for $725 in 2017, but whoever
That's
that
eerie.
was hasn't shared it with anyone. So as of today, it remains elusive.
Trained as a Jedi, you request for him.
Yoda's voice and puppeteering work is provided by the one and only Frank Oz. Now, Oz has too many voice and puppeteering roles to count, but amongst them are Fungus in Monsters, Inc.
You're still behind, Randall. You know, maybe I should realign the screen intake
Just
valve.
get me another door!
Ah, the door, yes, door!
Many of the Muppets, like Fozzie Bear and Miss Piggy, and also many characters in Sesame Street, like Cookie Monster.
I will be, quiet like this.
And then you talk like that, you go crazy.
Talented.
Boys, you ever see Padme?
So this is another very well-known actor with a bizarrely small part. This guard is played by Dominik West, who's been in a ton of stuff like The Wire, 300
Whoa.
and the 2018 live-action Tomb Raider, where he played Lara's father.
I began searching the world, desperate for a hint of another realm, for proof that the supernatural is real.
I'm sorry.
Fucking McNulty.
Who is it? Anakin Skywalker. Justified me, Your Highness.
Playing the handmaiden Rabe is Brazilian actress and
She looks
model
familiar.
Cristina de Silva, an avid puppeteer apparently, and now runs her own interview-focused YouTube channel.
May the force be with you.
This is incredible. We recommend a commission be sent to the pool to ascertain the truth.
So this Neimoidian is voiced by Toby Longworth, who also voiced the alien merchant who demanded Jar Jar pay for the food he ate. Longworth's done a ton of acting work, like here he is in the IT crowd.
Mario, let's move on! Oh, shut up!
And here is his voice in the horror game Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs.
I held your hand and watched the blood pool between your legs. You lived long enough to see Edwin, but not Enoch. I will take care of them, my love. I promise you this.
Whoa.
The Congress of Malastare concurs with the Honorable Delegate from the Trade Federation. A commission must be appointed.
So this alien from Malastare is voiced by a guy called Mark Silk, who's
Nice
done
name.
voice work portraying characters like Scooby-Doo and Johnny Bravo.
Oh.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo! He's done TV show announcer work on shows like Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway.
Jump on board. Take a ride. That's Agbo Podlin. Jump on board. Feel the high. That's Declan Donnelly.
Oh, and he also does the voice for the American version of Bob the Builder.
Another Bob.
And a front door.
Fucking wild.
It's a house.
Who'd have thought Phantom Menace had two Bob the Builders in it?
Order!
So the Senate Speaker here, Max Ameda, is played by Jerome St. John Blake. Blake
Flaw
had the
name.
honor of playing a whole bunch of aliens in the prequels, including all these guys. He also did standing acting for the film's pre-visual work.
Our fate is in your hands.
So in this scene, you might be surprised to hear that Thorin Oakenshield is in it. Yeah, actor Richard Armitage is right here as one of the Naboo star pilots. Armitage went on to do a ton of stuff, so many roles in so many television series, but my audience might recognize him most as the voice of Trevor Belmont in the Castlevania Netflix series.
Dracula taught a human woman how to be a doctor. What was first? Bloodletting.
Fighters, straight ahead. Roger, Bravo, leader.
This is actor Clarence Smith. Yet another Shakespearean actor, but he's also done lots of TV work, like as this barrister on Coronation Street.
You love your wife, while really admitting to an affair with your babysitter. A woman you claim to have, cared for.
What's that? It's falling up from the inside.
So this female pilot is played by actress Celia Imrie. She's been in many films and shows like The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel and Bridget Jones's Diary.
I was just saying, Jeffrey didn't contact you either to tell you that the Tarts and Vickers concept had gone out of the window.
Oh, yes, he did.
Oh, right. Lovely dress. Very exotic.
And she was a long-time collaborator with comedian Victoria Wood.
This place is a disgrace. Filthy, unhygienic, the food's not safe to eat, and the staff are all positively diseased. £2.95, please. On the other hand, it's very cheap and easy to park.
Now that poor pilot was ILM visual effects supervisor John Noel, who has done tons of visual effects work over the years, and along with his brother Thomas, created a little program called Photoshop. You might have heard of it.
Well, Photoshop's become an integral tool in all filmmaking.
Now this is interesting. This elated pilot is played by actor Benedict Taylor. Now, do you remember that green Twi'lek that gets eaten by the Rancor in episode 6? Well, that was actress Femi Taylor. Yeah, these two are brother and sister. To answer the question you all have in your head, Femi was adopted. Now, Taylor's done lots of television work himself, and he has worked with Lucas before, Here he is in an episode of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Ah, Lieutenant, unless you're dressed for a masquerade, we fully expect to be saluted.
Your boldness has saved our people, Your Majesties. You should be congratulated.
So 2 cameos in this scene. This guy is longtime producer Rick McCallum.
It's so dense. Every single image has so many things going on.
And the guy to the left of him is longtime Star Wars sound designer Ben Burt, who might interest you to know did the voice for Wally.
Wally's voice started with recordings I would make of myself. And then it's analyzed and broken up into its component parts within the computer.
Also, Burt has cameoed before in Star Wars. This is him in Return of the Jedi. Great! And Solo killed Wally. Unbelievable. So this animal handler is a guy called Dan Madston, who is the former president of the official Star Wars fan club. I guess the dude did such a good job they offered him a cameo. And finally, there's a notable actress who appears in the crowd here. Right here. Apparently that's Sally Hawkins, famous for her roles in Blue Jasmine, Godzilla, and The Shape of Water.
I have never seen it.
You're in a Star Wars movie and you haven't seen it?
No.
That might be a first. That'll make
Well, it's
Star
the
Wars
Phantom
fans,
Menace.
and they're intense. That'll make them angry.
I know. I should.
How dare you? No, they'll be very angry about that.
I've seen it. I have seen it.
So there we go. Kind of interesting, right? I think I like the idea of making more informative videos like this. So if you'd like me to explore all the actors of another film, please let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, check out my channel for more videos from me. Like if you like, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace.
Flashes just as my name goes by. He had to ditch the video shoutouts he mentioned on Twitter and Patreon because apparently YouTube doesn't like it if people don't watch the video all the way to the very end, and a lot of people aren't interested for that part, but still, nice he gives us credit. Anyway, this was definitely more interesting than I thought it would be. I mean, I went into it not sure what to expect. Part of me was worried that it would just be a bunch of listing, but as always, he found a way to make it an interesting watch. It was fascinating. Like, some of these things I did know, but a lot of it I did not. I mean, the fact that the guard who says it's Anakin is the guy who played McNulty on The Wire, and George Lucas's daughters appearing, and Sally Hawkins appearing at the end there. That was like, holy shit. And so many fucking others I can't remember at the moment, but yeah, and the bigger name actors, it was cool that he listed like their earlier performances, because wondering what's he gonna do for the people who are pretty well established. The one about Samuel Jackson I think was the most interesting, Black Cream, and it's lost. I mean, there's a lot of movies that are very obscure that you can't find unless you got a few $100 to spare for an old VHS tape or find an old bootleg copy online, but that's fascinating. Like, where the fuck did it go? Anyway, I thought it came out well, it was interesting, and if you like movie trivia, this is pretty good. And one thing I like about this is it didn't drag. It did keep me interested. I was worried it wouldn't, but it did, and there were still some funny jokes to show. I've seen a lot of people try to list background or trivia on a movie, and most of the time it just comes off as kind of droning. I should know. I've been guilty of that myself in the past, and hopefully I'm doing better now with my movie reviews. But anyway, I thought this came out pretty well, and a movie I would be interested to see him do this on would be Fast Times at Ridgemont High, just because there's a lot of faces in that, some big known, some lesser known. I think the most interesting thing to point out that one would be another Coppola, Nicolas Cage, who's pretty much a background extra in a couple of scenes. It's also the only film where he's credited under his birth name, Nicholas Coppola. So anyway, that was my reaction. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos on the channel, feel free to check them out, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. And if you want to see Ross's video without a reaction, then click the link down below. I'll see you next time.